So the communication module really helped me in more ways than I can mention. But one of the ways is the way in which I used to communicate. Like before, for example, if one of my family members would irritate me, I would say stop doing that, or you're making too much noise. For example, if there's music being played and I'm trying to study. So now from the communication module, I learned that I can rather say, when you play loud music, I feel stressed out because now I can't study for my exams. Would you rather maybe play your music a bit later when I'm done studying?
Self-actualization. It has helped me to improve on my growth mindset and revise also my goals, because to a certain extent I felt that maybe we can't grow beyond certain points in our lives or intellectual abilities, but with the growth mindset it has reminded me that I can achieve anything that I set my mind to or want to achieve. So it has helped me grow as a person and also revise my goals and realize that I can achieve anything that I want to. And also identify my strength. For example, I did identify that I'm good at executing, so it has helped me to be consistent and at the same time be focused on my goals and be able to achieve them and be responsible towards what I want to achieve. For the communication module, it has helped me greatly, and also in the project that we're doing, the program we were doing. First of all, it helped me in my report writing for the case study that we're doing on the project, because I followed the flow and the concept that it had. And then for communication has helped me be able to relate to other people in different ways, because we come from different backgrounds. So when I'm talking to someone, I put into perspective the bicep model to make sure that I'm able to react the right way and be able to predict what their reaction would be to avoid any sort of offense towards each other.
They've really helped me so much. Talk about communication. Before I got here, the way I used to communicate, I think people misunderstand me easily, and I think I misunderstand people easily as well. Firstly, I left my country to be here, so I'm always chatting and all that. And when I first got here, I always have arguments with my family, with my friends while chatting. I say something, they think I mean a different thing, and it was always crisis. So what I did was, after taking this course, I decided to try and take a step back and then analyze the way I communicate with them. So what I do is, when they say something, I try to paraphrase it in another word, in another sentence, and be sure that that's exactly what they meant. So when they tell me, oh no, that wasn't what I meant, I then, okay, fine, what were you trying to tell me exactly? So one of them sent me a chat recently to be like, oh, you've changed. And I'm like, okay, it's because I'm using what I've learned. I've decided that I'm going to take a step back when you say something and then try and analyze what you've said and be sure that I understand what you're saying to avoid conflict.
Problem solving and conflict resolution. I also applied the same rephrasing of the words there, and also try to look at the problem from their point of view. How do they feel about it, etc. Maybe it's affecting the other person in a different way from what it's affecting me. So I try and look at it in the context, like the environment.
Stick into a career. When I started working, I was like, okay, since I'm in BI, I need to always be focusing on BI related things, always learn more about BI. But then through these communication modules, I learned that you have to actually expand your mind more than what you're doing. So the self-actualization course taught me a lot of things, like, you have a growth mindset, think beyond what you're doing now. You have to grow as a person. So most people stick to only what they're doing, and I don't think you can actualize yourself by actually doing that. You need to go a step further and learn about more things.
And then another module that did help me was conflict resolution. Now when there are arguments, there are instances where I've had arguments, but I have empathy and I use nonviolent communication, and I try to practice active listening so that I don't overreact and find ourselves in a very terrible heated argument and we can't move past it, and it's helping me to resolve resolutions more peacefully.
I stay with two other Ugandans here, and we've had misunderstandings. Definitely we have misunderstandings because we come from different backgrounds. At first when I got here, I thought they were segregating because, you know, they were always staying on their own and I was always on my own and all that. It took a while. But after taking that model, I discovered that they're just their own person. They're just different from me. We had to have a discussion about, okay, so how do you perceive me? How do I perceive you? When I talk, what do you hear? When I react to things, what do you think about it? And later I just discovered that it was a whole form of misconception. They were always getting me wrong. I was always getting them wrong. And whenever we have disagreements, I used the logic taught to us in conflict resolution to resolve conflicts. Sometimes I just, sometimes I walk away from the heated argument and then I, take a fresh breath, of air, and then I come back to it and then we talk about it and then we just forget about it. We've been able to move fast. It has been almost 3 months and, we've been, cohabiting wonderfully well. Also, problem solving, yeah. There are some times that I don't understand what exactly the problem is. That module has helped me to understand, okay, what exactly is the problem? When there's a problem, I try to analyze it, I try to understand it.
An instance whereby my friend came to me about that. So they had a problem and then I sort of just jumped the gun. I just didn't really understand what they're talking about. So I just came with comfort to him. It's like, hey, it's gonna be right, don't worry about it. But I didn't understand the whole situation, why it's like that. Until after I did the communication module, then everything changed. Like now I was like, okay, wait, Adi, hold on. Listen to what they're saying. Can I genuinely listen? And that's where we came up with better solutions and they were much more happier. So it was a really effective way of me actually developing my communication skills. Also identifying different mediums and how to speak. Like other platforms don't work as well as other platforms. Like SMS won't work the same as verbal communication because there's a lot of things involved. Like there's in face-to-face communication, you can read the body language, you can actually divert the tone of voice, you can actually see what's happening and visualize because communication happens in more than just saying words or voice. So it was quite effective. I learned quite a lot and I think if anyone wants to achieve something, they have to know how to communicate because that's the only way to advance yourself as a person. So it was very effective. I'm glad I did it.
It goes up.